Black people, black people, black people. Y'all doing all right? Well, that's good. I'm glad you're doing fine. I want to talk to you, all right, because you and I need to have a family meeting because there's something going on that it's right in your face. We got two words called overt and covert, and if you can Google the two words, you'll know maybe where I'm trying to go here. You live in America, but you're another nation. There's three nations. Did you know that? It's called the United States of America, but we're not. We are not united. We've got three groups. I'll tell you in 60.
You good. Don't stop it.
Bass.
It's the show that will get you thinking, and where the topics are hot. Feel free to comment whether we agree or not, 'cause he's got something to say.
Sirwalterj Jones. Sirwalterj Jones.
He's got something to say. Sirwalterj Jones.
Sirwalterj Jones.
Report live 7 days a week, always on time, but this time is not free. Sirwalterj Jones, always on fleek. Latest trending topics had you jumping out your seat.
He's got something to say.
Come on in,
boys. The water is fine.
Hello, everybody. Sirwalterj Jones Show. I'm here. It is the midday connection, baby. How y'all is? Water really is fine. It's fine. I've been stumbling today. I just can't talk. Black folks. Three nations. One are the Native American people. They're called the nation. You call them Indians. Derogatorily, we called them Indians back in the day, my grandfather days. Rednecks were those who live in the South. They were called red men, but rednecks were the hillbillies. But the red man was the Indian. I lived with them in South Dakota. Very proud and prideful people. Very close, tight-knitted people. And that's a whole nother show. We've done those shows before with Phil Fox. And then there are everybody else. And then there's black people. Black people, although you're not a monolith, you are a nation of yourself. Because everything that has to do with American history, you were involved from the first time. From the moment a bullet left a chamber, that first bullet hit a black man. I think his name was Crispus Attucks. I could be wrong. And we have been fighting in America's wars with his white brothers and sister since the time America became a nation. We've been here since what, 1619? We've been here. We've been in every scuffle. We have invented some of the most needful things that has caused people to, remain safe, to be nourished, to be in comfort. And although those patents, many of them were stolen from us, it just didn't matter, huh? America, this is you. And so some will be in the comment section saying that I'm race baiting again. Yeah, I am. Racism is a word that is difficult to define, believe it or not. It really is, because there's the word racialism and race and racism. They all come together, but they kind of mean they kind of synonymous, but yet they're kind of different, because to be a racist is to understand a system. You are a part, or you're benefiting from an institution where you have the upper hand over another group of people. Do you understand? The reason why the word race is difficult, or racialism or racism is difficult, because we all are part of one race, human race. So if you say you are a racist, that means you are against humankind. Does it make sense? So we had to create this to try to describe a person's hatred towards a group of people, and we came up with different phraseologies and words. So racist, xenophobe, which is a hatred against someone who's from another nation. You got discriminate, which is a preference between whether you like this person, and you discriminate based off of the person's color, or you can discriminate based off of someone who don't live here. So discrimination is in all of those terms. But to say I discriminate, you have to say, well, what do you discriminate against? And then you say, I discriminate for people who live in Canada. Well, you are discriminative towards Canadians, which makes you a xenophobe. This is making sense. So then there's a bigot. Man, this is too tough to teach. A racist is a person who is in power, or who is in a state of supremacy over minority. Racial bias is a term that is safe to use. So in the 1960s, these civil rights laws were passed against those who were racist, like the Ku Klux Klan and all these other people who were hating people because of their color. And if you violated it, the legal term was you're violating someone's civil rights. Hate crime. There is no crime called racist. There is no crime called racist. The crime is in the act, and doing the act is a violation of a person's civil rights. So they'll say racially motivated. But it is a hate crime. So to be a racist is to have more as a group than he or the group in whom you are hating or discriminating against. I'm saying all that to say it is difficult to be an African American in the United States and be called a racist, because you don't own nothing. You don't own nothing. Hey, Alfred. Now you and I have talked. In the email, you and I have talked. And then you would post that. So moderators, kill him. Just kill him right now. We just talked. just yesterday. And as a leader, it is difficult to try to be peaceful with people, get along with them, and then they do that. I am a kind and compassionate man, but I'm also a man who know what is righteous. So mods, kill that. Makes no sense. So where was I? Racist. It's difficult to call someone a racist and you don't own nothing. So when a white person call you a racist, you say, prove it. You say, prove it. So today we all are going to watch a video. All right? And we are going to sit like adults and we're going to watch this because I want y'all to see how Hispanics and Asians and other minority groups are a separate entity in themselves, and they have been riding on the coattails of African Americans. They've been riding on the coattails of African Americans. The Civil Rights Bill, homosexuals, and other minorities riding on the coattail of us. They've marched with us. I seen them marching with Black Lives Matter. And then what happens? They turned on y'all. And if you think your Mexican brother and sister or your Asian brother and sister love you, you are a fool. You in this thing by yourself. Black folks. You in this thing by yourself. The Mexicans moved in my neighborhood a few months ago, and they not once said anything to me. I have approached them. I have said hi to them, and they don't talk to me. Come on, spoken word. They ain't said not one word to me or my family. They live across the street. They keep to their own selves, and they'll move in your neighborhood, set up their shops, and do whatever, but they don't want no part of you. You need to know that. And many of them voted for Donald Trump to even go against their own people because they are here now legally, and then they got their brothers and sisters that are trying to get over here, and they were like, look, we over here. Y'all better hear me. Y'all gonna learn a lesson today. They do not like you. Walk into an Asian shop, you're going to be followed everywhere you go. They'll set up their shop in your neighborhood, but they're going to watch you like a hawk. Cameras are everywhere watching you. They do not like you. Do you understand the words that's coming out of my mouth? There's a video going around where the black brother was in the Family Dollar. Yet y'all see that? He had one of them hats on. But he was a Cuban American, he speaks Spanish. And the Mexican, the Hispanic over the counters was saying stuff about using the N-word and all that stuff in Spanish. Y'all see that? And he finally had to tell her a few words in Spanish. In Spanish. And she was like, but I did not, yeah, you did. And then before you know it, it went viral. They don't like you. They want your money, but they don't like you. You saw that, Cassie? You saw that, DT? You saw that, Luann? They don't like you. Yeah, Afro Latino. I think that's what they called. That's what he was called. But I think he was from Cuba. I think his father was Cuban. All right, here's a video. We're gonna sit here and watch a couple videos. How about that, huh?
Diaspora News Channel and join the conversation.
Latino students at a high school in Long Beach, California, Cabrillo High School to be exact, they think it's a good idea to stand in the gym, standing next to each other, spelling out I love N-words on t-shirts. Now, of course, that image went viral all over social media and parents found out about it and was like, wait a minute, excuse me, say what? They love who? So, of course, they called the school, and the school, of course, you know, they do their same old, oh, my God, we're sorry. We're going to look into it. It's going to be an investigation. We do not condone this, that, and the other. We're going to get along and blah, blah, blah. But my thing is, why do those Hispanic students think it's a good idea to say that they love N-words? You couldn't have said you love black people. Well, of course, we know why you didn't say you love black people, because you meant to be incendiary. You meant to pretend that you are little white supremacist children, because that's the stuff that they do. And what you did there, that's not original. They've done that before, which makes me think you were trying to copy them. Oh, they did it. Let's do it too. He, ha, ha, ha. We're going to get away with it because it sounds funny. See, that's the other thing too. People run around talking about, oh, we need to get along with the black and the brown. The brown don't want to get along with black people. And they're proving that right there. Those are children. They're learning that from their people, that black people ain't this. You run around calling them the N-words and you get so bold to where you'll take a picture and post it online like it's funny. See, there is no black and brown alliance. And the other thing, too, is I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and we were talking about whether white supremacist children, how do they learn to hate black people? And I said, it's not that they pick it up by osmosis, because they do, which means, okay, we're just naturally around racist people, but it's also an indoctrination that takes place. They actively teach their children to hate black people. They actively tell their children, don't bring them home. They are not an acceptable partner for you. Are they this or they that? They're evil. They purposely teach their children that. And now you have Latinos who are obviously purposely teaching their children to hate black people. They're in California, where there's still some black people. We're just not the majority anymore. In Long Beach, it's 44% Hispanic and 12% black. So we can kind of see where we're going with that. And they're, in a way, they're the majority there. But with their majority, they are continuously hating on black people. But then it be they people talking about where the black community at. Y'all not helping us. Oh, our people are getting deported. What you want us to do about it? You say you love N-words, but do you really? Were you putting that all up on social media as it's a joke? And a lot of those children, they were smiling. That, you know, when they were posing like that. So it's like, why would you want us to come help you and you don't like us? See, y'all get like everybody else, want to use us for our abilities. But then when it comes down to really loving black people, y'all don't love us, because if you love somebody, you actually help them. You do for them. Y'all don't do that. Y'all just want us to do it for you. But I hope y'all paying attention what now, and that's not even now, but they're getting bold about it. With the Latino community, what they're teaching their children about black people. So we'll see if they actually get away with it, which some tells me that they will. And from what I understand, they're all seniors. So are they going to be expelled or any of that other stuff? Do any of them have scholarships that they're anticipating getting when they graduate? Will those be taken from them? I doubt it. It remains to be seen, though. So anyway, y'all let me know what you think of that. And for more insightful.
They are taught this. They are taught this from their parents. There's a movie called American History X. Anybody ever seen the movie? Now, this is diaspora news channel. Some of y'all have seen them this channel here. And American History X is a movie that was so gripping to me. And my favorite scene in the movie was them sitting at the dinner table. Spoiler alert. The father was an obvious racist. We're going to use racist because of how we define it today, so I'm going to use it. And the son was excited about school and his gym teacher. And the father was like, oh, what are you doing? And I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And what are you studying? We're studying African-American history or something like that. And he said, and the father was like, excuse me? African-American? And the son's like, yeah. My teacher's a good guy. He's really great. He's this, he's that. He's a black guy. The father was like, and then he said, well, get the lesson and erase that bloop bloop out of your system. Because they here to take over and blah, blah, blah. Do you understand, son? And the son was like, yeah. Do you understand? Yes, yeah. I get it. And then the scene goes into the future, and the son head is shaved. And he has a swastika on his. That scene right there was the most gripping part of the movie. Because children don't really care about color. They don't know what hatred is. A kid may see a color and be fascinated by it, actually. Ooh, his skin is darker than mine. I'm going to go play with him. And the mother would be like, no, don't play with them. Over time, they learn. Hispanics got their nerves to act like where they're acting right now. They have their nerve to be discriminate against the people who they rode on the wings of and still riding on the wings. Their advantage is their skin color. Because many of them can pass, because many of them don't have a heavy Spanish accent. So they can pass, a lot of them. So I'm going to play this
Fellow
video.
soldiers.
This video here, I'm going to play it. It's 16 minutes long, but I'm going to play 7 minutes. And if you ain't got 7 minutes, then come back. Come back. Anissa, you're right. You are so right. All right, this is 7 minutes. This is by Professor Black Truth, large YouTube channel. And listen to this Google, because these institutions and corporations who we use, it's like we can't live without them. I have stock in some of these companies. But they want your money, but they don't like you. A lawsuit went forth against Google because how the minorities were being treated. Brace yourself. That is the phrase I was looking for, Renee. The unmitigated gall.
Family and fellow soldiers, I'm the professor, and this is the moment of truth. For many years now, the Democrats have had a secret alliance going with the Republicans, where they have intentionally and deliberately allowed race grifters like Chris Rufo and Ed Blum to run around making blatantly false claims that whites and Asians are being discriminated against in college admissions and employment, etc. We know these are lies, but Democrats have not pushed back with legislation to shut down these nuisance suits. They have refused to fight to get judges on the bench who will uphold the law and throw out this type of frivolous litigation. They won't even make a public statement opposing the open racism that the Blums of the world and their wealthy white paymasters represent. Democrats know that by doing nothing, they're allowing this status quo to continue. And that's deliberate. Well, you won't be surprised to learn that Google just settled a racial discrimination lawsuit for $28 million. But it's not whites and Asians who filed the lawsuit, predictably, but listen until you hear who did. Whites and Asians at Google have been proven to have been paid more for doing the same work. Whites and Asians got promoted more for doing the same work. Whites and Asians got pay increases for doing the same work, while non-whites and non-Asians were retaliated against if they pointed out this blatant racial discrimination. But on a side note, before I go any further, of course, as we all know, white supremacy has no long-term plans for Asians, but in the short term, they do need to keep up the facade just long enough to solidify the white primacy paradigm that they're trying to put in place. But to continue, before any of you starts to think that this lawsuit settlement was a good thing, there's a small detail that you need to know. The woman who filed the lawsuit is named Anna Cantu. She identifies as Mexican and racially indigenous, and she filed the lawsuit on behalf of Latinx, Indigenous, Native American, American Indian, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander, and Alaska Native employees of Google. I'm sure you noticed that this Cantu woman went to great lengths to exclude black employees at Google from her lawsuit. She named literally every single Hispanic and Pacific Asian group she could think of, but she made sure not to include black people in her lawsuit at all. Never mind the fact that were it not for black Americans, specifically foundational black Americans, this Cantu woman and the rest of her co-plaintiffs wouldn't have had the laws in place that enabled them to get that settlement. You will be hearing that again before this morning's briefing is over. Those laws were written for foundational black Americans, and yet we see time and time and time again that these courts and these so-called people of color consistently put their heads together to exclude black people. And it doesn't bother them at all. And just in case the Tethers, the DNC shills, and the Shea Butter bootlicks try to come forward with some sort of feeble defense to claim, well, there must have been some kind of legal necessity for it, CNN says Cantu's lawyers agreed to exclude black employees from the lawsuit and that Google had sought this. They made a deliberate choice. They put their heads together with Google to do this. They worked together with Google to exclude black employees. They didn't have to. They wanted to. They singled the black employees out in specific, but only the black employees. You saw that list. That list basically included everybody except for black people. Now, if you had black employees who sued a company on the grounds of racial discrimination and then made an 11th hour deal to exclude Hispanics and Asians and all the rest from the suit, they would be screaming and yelling on cable, in print, online, and everywhere. We would be seeing headlines nonstop saying the Black-Brown Alliance is dead, black people betray the people of color coalition, etc. We would be hearing the name of Dr. King invoked nonstop. If black people were the ones who pulled a maneuver like this, it's the same way that we regularly see someone claiming that black people have undermined the historic good relations between black Americans and Jews because allegedly Kanye West said something. We never see anyone say that Rabbi Shmuley or Stephen Miller or Ed Blum or David Horowitz or Bill Maher or anyone else undermined the historic good relations between blacks and Jews. We only see those kind of claims when there's some black person to be accused of something. So understand that. The fix was in, but then again, it's no different than it's always been. The only difference now is there's actually a black media in place that makes it a point to tell you about these incidents and not let them fall down the memory hole. This Cantu woman agreed with Google to exclude black employees from the settlement, and she only did it this month. Only this month. Well, it's the 25th, so that means that they excluded the black Google employees within the last couple of weeks. And when she did that, Google eagerly handed over a check for $28 million. All she had to do was say, well, we're not going to have black people as part of this lawsuit. Now, first of all, this means that Google knew that they were guilty. If they felt that they were innocent, they would have fought this lawsuit, especially in this current political climate where the guy who runs Google's parent company, Alphabet, is hanging out at the White House with Trump. So Google settled this suit because they knew their behavior was so egregious that they most likely would have lost a lawsuit if it actually went to trial. But I need black folks to understand something. This lawsuit is just another example of how you tethers and shills who talk about this people of color, minorities, black fill-in-the-blank alliance, you're dumb as hell. Everyone else files their lawsuits for themselves and themselves alone. When they talk about issues that they're interested in, they talk only about themselves. They don't mention black, period. When they're out there talking about their political demands, you don't ever see them say black ever. You don't see these Hispanic groups ever say Afro-Latino. And even the black Latinos know this, and yet they're so desperate to escape being black, they don't dare admit it. And if someone does put us in the conversation, they're the first ones to check them on it and say, well, we ain't trying to include everybody else. Remember when Alexandria Cortez went on TV and was saying that she's got some Native American ancestry, but that doesn't make her an Indian. And then she loud and proud with her chest said, I've got some Afro ancestry, but that doesn't make me black.
I am a descendant of all sorts of folks. That doesn't mean I'm black.
See, since at least the 18th century, all of these other groups have known that if they want to get in good with the dominant society, all they have to do is show that they will uphold the racial hierarchy. They will accept a lower place on the racial ladder just so long as white power assigns them a place above black people. And as far as they're concerned, they will uphold white supremacy 24/7 in return for that privilege. You won't see the usual whining and griping from the trash on Fox News or any other corner of the white right about this settlement, because it doesn't include black people. You can say racial discrimination exists just so long as you don't mention black people, because white supremacy is not based on anti-Hispanic bigotry or anti-Asian bigotry or anti-Semitism or homophobia or transphobia or any other trivial claim. White supremacy is based on one thing and one thing only: anti-black racism. Full stop.
Anti-black racism, full stop. You can watch the whole video on YouTube under Professor Black Truth channel. I'm going to read this comment. You are right about Hispanics. I was adopted and fostered by a Puerto Rican family for my early teenage years until I got married. They loved me to death. The father stood outside my bedroom every night and prayed the rosary, calling out my name and asking God to bless me. There's nothing he wouldn't do for me. But when his daughter started dating a black guy, he excommunicated her from the family. He kicked her out and would not speak to her. And I felt some kind of way. I did not understand. And he said to me, "You won't understand. This is our culture." I loved that man until he died. He never had a mean or racist thing to say about me, but I never forgot. I remember there was a movie. What was the movie? By what's his name? What's the black director? Where what's his name had a sexual relationship on his job with the she was, what was she? She was Italian. I think she was Italian. It's a Spike Lee movie. And then the father found out that happened. Think it's spoken word. And in that scene where the father kicked her out the house and was throwing stuff at her, throwing her belongings at her. A black guy? An N-word? We can eat in their restaurants. Is it Jungle Fever? Clark? Jungle Fever. Yeah, Jungle Fever, yeah. We can eat in their restaurants. We can work on their jobs. And they'll sit next to them in their office. You know, they will laugh with us and joke with us, blah, blah, blah. But boy, what they feel deep inside is... And let me tell you something. Strange thing about that. You know who else hates you black people? I'm talking African American folks. Almost more than anybody. Africans. Africans hate your guts. I know that I know. I need some ginkgo. I really do, man. Because I can't think straight some days. Africans hate you. You know who else hate you? Islanders hate you. They hate your guts. They can't stand you. Jamaican, Belize, Tobago, they hate you. They think you are the dumbest things on earth. Yeah, Patricia, I was trying to think of his name. Wesley Snipes. Yeah, y'all helping me. I need to get that. Now I don't remember the name of the stuff. See the chat? You told me the name of it. I forgot already. That's how bad I need it. They hate you. I have worked with Africans. I have played my instruments in the band with Africans, and let me tell you, the conversations that come out of their mouth, they can't stand African Americans. They can't stand Negroes. They come over here, and let me tell you, some of it seems justified. Yeah. Some of them do believe the white man is God, studying God's word. They do. Uncle Remus on that cartoon is a real character. I love white Jesus. Uncle Remus is a real person in many of them. And I'm telling you, Cheryl, I don't know why I call you. I know why I call you Cheryl the other day, because it's Sherry Lynn, and I put your first name with your anyway. Because we're foundational to the land, they only think that because white folks tell them we are dumb and lazy. Yes, that's one reason. The second reason is that they come over here with nothing, and then they have everything, and they look at us as being dumb, lazy, shiftless. And guess what? They're not completely wrong. There are people, unfortunately, who look like you are dumb, lazy, and shiftless. Yes, whitehead, Dominicans, yes, they are. What I call, Uncle Remus. Yeah, Uncle Remus is real. Is a real person. It's several of them. And they come over here and they work hard and they look at y'all, wake up at 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon and say, I'm going to go find a job, all right? And then they do jobs that Hispanics do, jobs that you won't do, the Africans do. And they have 1, 2, 3, 4 jobs, especially Jamaicans, all right, and Bahamians. They have several jobs. They are doing stuff you don't want to do. They're babysitting for wealthy white folks. They are nannies and all this stuff that you look down on. They'll take it. They'll take it. And then save that money and send it back home. Yeah, they take on the traits of the oppressor, Beatrice. And it's a shame. Whoo! Camille said, Jamaicans only hate if you come at them wrong. Well, some of that is true. Some of that is true. Uncle Ruckus. Michelle Jackson. Thank you. There's a few names that comes out. He's uncle. I was watching YouTuber for Africa the other day, and the younger generation, and they expressed on that episode that they were lied to, so they are starting to research us to get the truth. Well, Gail, it's too late. It's too late. Africans are taught to love whites. They don't even realize many. Yeah, that's right, Layla. They don't even realize it. Because one of the Sunday school teachers told one of the students that Jesus was a white man with a beard. Wow, Nancy. Wow. I have been systematically enslaved, even with freedom. We can do a whole history class on why number one attack on black men. Yeah. Africans feel that way, but their children grow up here and experience the same thing. White supremacy doesn't care. Yep. And Jay-Z said it best. I can't play the song for obvious reasons. But I'm going to play a little bit of it. Y'all already know what I'm going to play, right? Y'all already know what I'm getting ready to play. Y'all already know what I'm getting ready to play.
Okay, house nigga, don't fuck with me. I'm a...
Y'all already know. Y'all already knew I was gonna play that, right? I didn't know what part of the song it was gonna play. It just happened to have that unfortunate word in it. I'm sorry. I apologize.
I bought a BB12 engine.
Yeah, I can only play a few seconds of it. I'll get snatched. I'm only playing this because of your comment there. These whites don't care where you from. It's what you look like. O.J. Simpson learned a very important lesson.
House nigga, feel nigga, still nigga.
You can run with them. You can eat with them. And guess what? Some of them will allow you to marry their daughter. But you still. Oh, what? You ain't got to type it. We get the point. We get it. So am I race baiting? Well, if you go on patreon.com, the Sirwalterj Jones Show, we've been doing a critical thinking class Monday, Tuesday, tonight, hopefully, if I can do it before I go to Bible study. Critical thinking. And in our critical thinking class, we have been examining different aspects of life to see, can you be on the outside and look at it from a critical mind and stop having this herd mentality? Last night we talked about speaking in tongues. We played a Thomas Sowell video on the racial gap. Do men make more money than women? He broke it down. We talked about the education issue. Tonight, we'll figure out this other thing that you deal with, you're surrounded with, and I want you to be on the outside to look into it to see how you can take your critical mind that God gave you and can you examine it and say, I guess I have to look at it another way now that I'm thinking critically. That's what those classes are. It's in the upper room. Go to the upper room, patreon.com, Sirwalterj Jones Show. It's a no judgment zone on Patreon. And y'all have been doing the homework, and it's been absolutely amazing. The comments that over there are really amazing. See, Kendall said, I'm loving the critical thinking class. I bought the book. There it is. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. All right. So let's see what we have tonight. And for those of you who are not in the upper room, I do post free stuff that you all can examine, and so that you can play along with us. Stephanie Mills says she learned a long time ago getting invited to their party was not a flex. They use you as entertainment, not as a guest. Michelle Jackson, I'm so glad you're here. I agree with her. Stephanie, nobody talk about Stephanie Mills. That's my wife. Don't know. Well, not today. She's not my wife. She was back in the day. I had the privilege of being backstage with her. Some of y'all saw my pictures and what have you on Facebook back in the day. She's just still fine. She had the legs. She was short. If y'all see me and her together, I'm this tall and she this tall. It's hilarious. And she said, I need a song. Y'all heard my story. She said, I need a song. My nephew Lil Rod, who did the first lawsuit against P. Diddy, was playing bass for her. And I'm backstage. I need a song. I just need to start releasing more music. And my nephew said, my uncle, he's a songwriter. He'll write you a song. And she said, and this is when the divorce happened. This is when I divorced her. She said, no, I want a regular song. I don't want a gospel song. I said, excuse me? She said, no, I want a regular song, not a gospel song. I said, nephew, let's go. Hand me my coat. Baby, I feel good all over. Hand me my coat. She handed me my coat. This relationship is over. Oh, I didn't mean it that way. Yeah, I know what you didn't mean. Listen, Stephanie, this is over. This is why. And then I got honorary. I said, this is why you didn't get the role in The Wiz. Barry Gordy chose his mistress, Diana to the Ross, and didn't choose your behind because you don't know how to act right. Give me my coat. Baby, I feel good all over. And I walked out of there. Never saw her again. Yeah, Lil Rod is my nephew. So God help us. Help us. Help us. Help us. Help us. We need help. We need it bad. We need it bad. We're fighting among our own people in whom you made in your image because they have a different hue for no reason at all. And the day is going to come on Judgment Day when you are going to judge those people for how they treat your people. Meanwhile, help us, God, to understand how to pull ourselves up our own bootstraps and gather our monies, sit down with our individual families and teach generational wealth and how to invest and save for a rainy day. Help us, God. Teach us how to know that it's home first. Teach us to just be bold with our children and say, you're spending too much money. Sit down with them. Holy Spirit, help us, because we can't help ourselves without you. So we love you, God, and we give your name the praise, and that's in Jesus' name. Thank God. Amen.
Fellas, does it seem like you can't get a good woman? Ladies, wonder why you can't keep a man? Then read The 4 Women That Men Desire, Volume 1, by Sirwalterj to figure out how to break the cycle. Go to Amazon.com to get your copy today.